it is advised to fully watch the video to understand the theory. If you think about it, we can make another lore video of Hollow Knight expanding upon those areas, but there's no need. The thing I am going to talk about in this video is a theory or a plot hole or anything you may call it. It is based upon the protagonist of the game, which is the unnamed knight. You know the thing about when I found out that the Hollow Knight wasn't our knight. The Hollow Knight was actually the one who was containing the infection as a vessel and who was stopping it from spreading like the coronavirus. Now, to understand the Hollow Knight, we need to first understand the origin of the infection. You know, the infection that almost wiped out Hollow Nest once originated from the Moth tribe. It was a tribe that was settled in Hollow Nest. Yes, that's the correct pronunciation. We have been saying it all wrong this time. It was already situated in Hollow Nest before the arrival of the Pale Prince. It is interesting to note that there have been many ancient civilizations before the civilization of the Pale Prince, and just between one of those civilizations, the Moth tribe was settled in Hollow Nest. The leader of the Moth tribe was called the Radiance, which is also the true final boss of the game that we have to defeat to achieve the true ending, or the third ending known as Dream No More. There are actually 5 different endings, and we will be talking about the first ending, or which is the bad ending of the game. In short, the infection that almost destroyed Hollow Nest originated from the radiance of the Moth tribe. Now let's talk about the theory that I had talked about at the beginning of the video. For that, we'll first have to look at the first ending of the game, in which our protagonist, the knight, the nameless knight, kills the Hollow Knight and takes upon his infection. The original Hollow Knight is killed in the process, and our protagonist, the knight, becomes the new Hollow Knight. So we can say that we actually get to become the Hollow Knight at the end of the game. The interesting thing is that there can be infinite number of Hollow Knight in the game. Yes, you heard it right. You must have remembered the abyss where all the broken vessels of the Pale Prince and the White Lady are stored. The vessels were to be filled with the substance known as void. The thing is, the Hollow Knight which was to be chosen to contain the infection was supposed to be purely hollow and without any emotions, as you may remember in the birthplace scene. To be honest, the birthplace scene was really a masterpiece. That was the moment when Hollow Knight became a 10 out of 10 for me at least, and it should have become 10 out of 10 for you as well. No minds to think, no voice to cry suffering, born of God and void, you are the pure vessel, you are the Hollow Knight. I don't know how can not someone get chills after reading all that. That was the reason why so many vessels were made and rejected. There are many shells lying in the abyss, as you have noticed. All of these were together known as the Void Siblings. These also appear when you finally beat the Radiance in the third ending. They had a very sad fate if we think about it. The knight that we play as was also one of the siblings that managed to escape the abyss. He was also a potential Hollow Knight or pure vessel. Now the main reason the infection spread again was that the original Hollow Knight was not hollow. If you have completed the Path of Pain, you may remember the 2-second cutscene we get as a reward. In the background, that were the Pale Prince and the Pure Vessel. I'll be referring to the original Hollow Knight as the Pure Vessel from now. The reason he was known as the Pure Vessel was that he was considered as the most appropriate vessel for containing the infection. The Pure Vessel becomes affectionate of the Pale King. Therefore, the pure vessel was never hollow from inside, and that was the reason he couldn't contain the infection and it spread. In the first ending of the game, we kill the pure vessel and we become the new Hollow Knight of the game. Now I'm going to tell you why there can never be a true Hollow Knight who is truly hollow from inside. The fact that even the pure vessel was never hollow shows that there can never be a true Hollow Knight. Every single chosen vessel was bound to get affectionate to any other vessel or any other entity in Hollownest, and therefore there can never be a true vessel that can contain the infection of the Radiance and protect Hollownest. The reason why our Hollow Knight was not hollow because we interacted with many NPCs throughout the journey. So we can say that it is a loop that we are stuck in. I think it is the best theory that you may ever come across for this game. It somehow manages to contradict the main or central idea of the game. One can never truly be hollow. This can also be applied to real life. The pure vessel, the knight, the void siblings, none of them were truly hollow. They were literally made from a substance known as void, which is supposed to be nothingness. The pure vessel known as the pure god of nothingness in the Hall of Gods. It was never the god of nothingness. It had a mind to think. It had a will to break. It wasn't born from God and void. Therefore, the Pale King could never achieve peace for Hollownest. It was bound to get destroyed one day. The main motive of the Pale King was bound to get failed. If you watch the video till here, please hit the like button and also the subscribe button. I want to get to 100 before the end of this month, and for that I need your support, so please contribute. Thanks a lot.